I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about rocker axles. I'll teach you what they are, why we use them, how to use them, how to adjust them on your frames, and then I'll also show you the 3 main settings that we use. So, what is a rocker axle? It is an axle which is not perfectly circular, so one side is higher than the other. So that means when this goes into the side of the frame with the arrow pointing up, the wheel is higher. And when you turn it and then the arrow is pointing down, that means the wheel is lower. So this means on all 4 wheels, we can change each wheel independently up or down. Now you're not going to have them like this because that would be ridiculous. So that is how they work. Now I'm going to show you on this frame here. For example, if we put it in facing up, so it's facing up at the moment, that would mean that the wheel is higher. Then all you would do, you unscrew one side and then you pull it, then you pull it out from the side and then it goes in the other side. So what this means is the wheel, let's put this screw on, let's imagine the wheel is there. That means you just tap it, you turn it, and then you put it back in. That's how quickly it is to adjust your rocker. Now, let's show this in real life. Real speed. So at the moment, I have a rear bias. For me personally, the rear bias is the most similar feeling to ice. It gives me more maneuverability at the back for my back turns or any movements that I'm going back. And then the rest is what I would call the regular rocker. So now let's adjust it to a regular rocker and you will see how quickly this can be done. So I put it in and I just do one side like this. Because you only need to unscrew one side, it's really quick to do. And that is now a regular rocker. So now all 4 are pointing down. So now we have a regular rocker. So you see it's just a little bit of a rocker. Now let's go to a flat setup. So for a flat setup, all that we're doing now is we're changing these 2 to point up. And we'll do that now quickly. So we do one and I just do it like this all the way. And then you turn it till it's facing down, no, up. It needs to face up. That's one. And I'll do the other one. So now that is facing up as well. And then I will screw them back in all the way, nice and tight. And you can tighten them as much as you want. On Pixgate, if I tighten them too tight, then the wheels wouldn't roll, but ours are always going to roll. So now you have a totally flat setup. So for super beginners, you may start here because you're not going to have this maneuverability, but you can learn how to balance, how to skate forward and backwards and feel safe. And of course, you've got your last wheel, which we're now calling the safety wheel for beginners. And now there's another setup. You could have a really large rocker. So if you wanted to have a large rocker, which is really fun, but the only issue with a large rocker is if you lean really far forward on a deep edge, you will catch your pick. So a large rocker, for this one, we're going to have the outside up and the inside down. It's essentially the opposite of what we've got here. So now you can time how long it takes me to change all 4. So we're going to undo one. And I always find the quickest way to do things is to do the same job multiple times in a row, just like this. I'll undo all 4. And if you undo it too much, it will come out. So we'll do all 4 like this. And then we will adjust the back one to face up, the middle one to face down, the back one to face up, and the front one to face down. Now, something important, whenever you're changing anything with the front wheel, the rocker, or you're taking it out, undo these at the front because these hold everything together nicely at the front. I actually haven't undone it enough. That was the issue actually. And then you adjust that. So all 4 are now adjusted. And then we'll screw this back in really quickly. That's one. That's two. Are you counting? That's three. And then the last one. Now we have the large rocker, center, down, outside, up. So that would look like this. I went forward. So you see, I naturally push down there. So when you do have the larger rocker, you will have to be really careful to stay on your center two wheels, apart from certain movements. Now the whole point of a rocker is that you can go onto your front or your back wheel. But because it's almost like, imagine a cliff. You know, you've got just a tiny little hill and then you've got a bigger cliff. Well, as you have a bigger rocker, it's like the cliff is bigger. So that means there's going to be more momentum as you go onto that front wheel. So you are going to fall onto the pick at the front unless you get used to it and you understand it. When I first got these and I first started testing in December, January, I was on the large rocker stage array and I loved it. I really enjoyed it. So that is something to be mindful of. And the beauty of our system is that it's not one size fits all. You can try different things. Just because I prefer a rear bias doesn't mean that that's what you will prefer. Everybody doesn't skate on the same blade, the same rocker. Everybody has their own personal preference. So this is what I've given you. So now we have the larger rocker here. And now I will just adjust back to my preferred setup. Now, if you do have any questions regarding rocker axles or anything else about Edge, then please do make sure to drop them in the comments below. I love to see your comments, and you know, make sure you subscribe, of course, subscribe to the channel and share with anyone that you feel would benefit from understanding more about inline figure skating. So now we're back to my favorite, a regular rocker. And you know what I think I'm going to do soon? I'm going to go back to a large rocker and see how I like it. Now, the large rocker will be a lot of fun when you go pick free skating. I'll just show you that quickly, because the benefits of pick free skating is that you don't have a pick in the way at all. And this is only to protect the frame. It's not to skate on. Yes, you can go on it, you can be on it, but it's just to protect the frame. That's all it is. And I call it an edge plug. It's a jam plug, but I'm calling it an edge plug because we're not really jamming, we're doing edges, right? Edges and turns, and the blade, the frame is called edge. And with this, you can actually do moves that you wouldn't do, because you can come all the way down here. Now, if you're on with a pick, you're stuck here. So this opens up freedom of movement, and you can do a lot more things. And I really feel this is great for anyone that is transitioning from ice to inlines, or from three wheel to inlines, or just anybody, because you have to focus to stay on your wheels. Because often you'll touch your pick, you'll press off your pick when you're skating. You can't do that. So it teaches you to skate better. So this actually becomes an incredible tool to improve your skating. There's nothing like this that you can use on the ice. So even if all you did was you got edge to skate like this, it would improve your skating. Now, if you don't skate on edge and you already have a inline figure skating frame system that has an adjustable stopper or pick, well, then you can buy jam plugs and you can put them on. Now, you can't do that with pick skate. Yes, you could take it off, but you're going to damage the frame, and you can't do that with off-ice skates, because this is two of the limitations with those systems, is their stoppers and their picks, or their toe rakes, whatever they want to call them. That's one of the limitations with their systems. So that has been a video about rocker axles. I think we've covered everything. We've covered what a rocker axle is. One more thing, why did I use rocker axles? So I skate on everything, right? So I skated on slalom skates, the FR skates, and they have four wheels and they have rocker axles on the outside. And for me personally, the rocker wasn't big enough. And I always thought, what if we could change the center two wheels as well to create a larger rocker? And that was the idea about having 4 rocker axles. When I went to my manufacturer with my design and my ideas for them to then design the frame for me, they said, nobody's ever asked us for this. I said, well, there's a first time for everything. Let's see if it works. And when I first tested it, it was like, yes, that is exactly what I wanted to have. Because I tested a regular and a large back to back, and it was incredible. Because here's the thing with an ice blade, right? So you're stuck with one rocker, and if you wanted to test another rocker, how would you do that? You'd have to buy another pair of blades, you'd have to take the whole blade off, you'd have to put the new blade on. Would you be on the same ice, same time, same conditions, same feel of the blade? Is it in the same place? Probably not, so it's not a fair comparison or a test. Now, I have done that test. At the very beginning of One Blades, we tested multiple rockers, multiple toe picks, all on the same aluminium frame. So I know how that feels, and I know that is the future of ice skating. And that is why we've started with inline, and I brought that idea to the inline frame first, and it works. And I love it, and the feedback has been incredible. So if you've got any questions about rocker axles or anything about One Blades or Edge, drop them in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.